Hi everyone, my name is Yifan Qing and I'm from Lanzhou University, Gansu, China. Today I'm honored to share with you my research titled The Ethical Choice and Identity Construction of Disabled Children's Writing in Chinese Children's Literature. This research explores the ethical dilemmas and identity construction of disabled children in Chinese children's literature. Over the past few decades, disability writing has become an emerging frontier in children's literature. In Chinese children's literature, authors have increasingly focused on children with physical and psychological impairments, those who face challenges in behavior, cognition, or communication. These works aim to write inclusive literature that not only reveals the struggles disabled children face, but also emphasizes their subjectivity and humanity. At the core of my research is the understanding that disabled children occupy a fragmented social position, constantly oscillating between inclusion and exclusion. This boundary consciousness creates a profound sense of rupture between them and their non-disabled peers. In literature, this fracture is not only emotional or psychological, but is embedded in how these characters are represented. They are often observed, defined, or helped by others, yet seldom invited to speak for themselves. This narrative tension reinforces a feeling of otherness, positioning disabled children as both part of and apart from the world of normal childhood. The boundary between the disabled and the normal child is not merely a difference in physical ability. It becomes a deeply internalized marker that shapes self-perception, identity formation, and social experience. This study draws upon disability studies as a theoretical framework and analyzes works by prominent Chinese authors such as Huang Beijia's Kiss My Mom, Wang Yuehan's The Blooming Flower, Chang Xingang's The Rusty Child, and others. These stories feature disabled protagonists who navigate complex emotional and social journeys, often shaped by ethical choices they must make in response to their bodies, their communities, and the larger cultural norms that define normalcy. Through a close textual analysis of these works, I have identified recurring ethical dilemmas, representations of disability, and strategies for identity construction. The study examines how these narratives contribute to expanding the theoretical space of Chinese children's literature and promote inclusive storytelling practices. My key findings show that disability is not simply a physical condition, but a complex intersection of material, psychological, cultural, and political elements. In these texts, disabled children face ethical choices that differ significantly from those of adult or able-bodied peers. They must navigate the pains of growing up while reconciling their internal sense of self with external expectations. These ethical challenges change across developmental stages and reveal how bodily differences shapes both emotional response and moral agency. Moreover, the relative nature of disability means that disabled children are positioned both within and outside normative social structures. This dual status reinforces certain stereotypes but also offers opportunities to challenge and redefine them. These repeated narrative scripts mirror real-life inclusion and exclusion, while also inviting readers, especially non-disabled children, to rethink their understanding of disability. In conclusion, Chinese authors are increasingly giving voice to disabled children, either through singular narrative perspectives or by creating dialogic spaces that allow disabled characters to speak for themselves. These stories aim to confront the artificial binary between the disabled and the normal. Rather than erasing the rupture between these two groups, the author seeks to acknowledge the fracture and offers a platform for disabled children to grow into recognized subjectives. These works encourage disabled children to make choices from identity and claim a voice in a society that often marginalizes them. In doing so, they contribute to a construction of a healthier, more inclusive social environment for all children. And that's all. Thanks for your listening, and I'd be happy to discuss the topic further and answer any question you may have.